Happy Monday. How are you, Heather?
I'm good. Kind of threw me off a little bit with this later start time, so I hope it works good for all of our viewers.
I hope so too. Yeah, it feels like a different energy, but I think it's going to be amazing. And it gives everyone time to get in here and be settled in.
I think it kind of works with like the slower feel of summer. First it's like the kids don't have to get to school in the morning, so it's just like a slower morning. So it kind of felt nice.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad
How
you
was
had.
your weekend?
Oh my goodness, my weekend was amazing. I got to spend it in Sedona. The land, the energy, the weather, the beautiful souls I was with. It was just couldn't have been more perfect, honestly. I had this really amazing experience. So Saturday we were laying by the pool, and the lady I was with, one of them was talking about fear versus love choices, and so we're laying out there, and I said to the universe, "Okay, show me fear versus love, right? Show it to me." And I'm always, I'm like, please, like kind and gracefully. I don't need another. I don't need another traumatic experience. Uh,
No.
but as I'm laying there, I look up at the umbrella over our loungers, and this beautiful butterfly lands. And then when the butterfly opens its wings, it casts this beautiful heart shape shadow, and it's like, oh, that's love. So when we are making decisions based from a place of love, we are expanding our energy field. It has this ripple effect. And then the butterfly closed its wings, so it just looked like this little shadowy split up there. And it was like, and this is fear. So when we are making a decision that is fear based, no matter what we're deciding on, realize our energy is closing. We're not getting the same level of consciousness that we do think when we're in love. We have an expanded level of consciousness, and a fear choice is like a shallow level of consciousness. I think that this is really important. When I was asking for that visual, and I was like, thank you, universe, for showing it to me, so kind and so gentle. But when we start to realize the decisions that we are making in our everyday life, we are choosing everything, whether it's the salad we're eating for lunch to the next job we're going to go after. When we realize that if we make decisions out of love, there's a giant ripple effect, and the energy field around that is so supportive and nurturing.
Oh, I love that. That's such a nice like visualization when it comes to like fear and love, and like you can feel that like expansion of the butterfly's wings, and then like the retract, like yeah, like when I'm fearful or I'm scared or like I'm nervous, like I go inward. I'm not looking outward. I do not feel expansive at all. And like creativity goes down and all of those things. So I love that.
Yeah. It was one of those little beautiful moments that, we get to experience. So all right. Well, I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm excited to get answering some of these questions and see what all we have waiting for us.
Yeah. And did you want to talk about your book real quick? I know that there was a change with that because I was looking forward to that coming out.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, the Kindle version of my book will be out on the 11th this week. The paperback and the hardback come out on the 15th. They're going to be all purchased through Amazon. And the other thing I wanted to add is that if you are in the area, July 12th, we are doing an in-person day-long retreat here in Mesa area of Phoenix. And it's going to be a beautiful event with 4 different practitioners. We only have 20 spots available, and some of them have already been taken. So please, if you're thinking about wanting to join us, go ahead and plan on that. You can find that link on my website.
And what an amazing opportunity to get to spend the day in person with you. I know it's, we get to see you over Zoom and different things, but to get to be in your presence is something really special as well.
Thank you.
All right. Are we ready for some questions?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start with a question from our chat. It was kind of fun when we logged in this morning. We already had some questions there. So just so you guys know, you can come in about 30 minutes before and start putting in questions in the chat if you'd like to do that. Our first question is, I'm feeling so unsettled and worried about everything lately for no apparent reason. Do my guides see anything that could be causing this? Do they have any advice for me? And the name is just MD.
Okay. Thank you for that. So yeah, not ironic that we started off fear versus love this morning, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Own experience. So there's a couple things that I'm feeling that I want to share with you on that. Number one, I do think you're a very empathic person. So when we are looking around us right now, there are a lot of things going on in the world that are unsettling here in the US, all over the place, right? Let's go back to the fear versus love energy. What you're wanting to do is tune into the frequency of love, of peace, of calm, because that frequency is playing right now also. Your guides are telling me very clearly, it's not that there's some catastrophic event for you coming up. So sometimes we have like this worried feeling and we don't know why. It's not because there's something coming up for you. It's because you're tapping into more of the energy around the world. And what you're going to want to do now is to make a conscious choice to literally say, at this moment in my life, all is well. That's important for multiple reasons, because you are affirming to the universe at this point in your life, all is well. You're reminding yourself all is well right now. And then we're really setting the stage or the outcome for the energy that you're wanting to bring in. So your guides are real clear. Like, don't panic. Just be aware that you're picking up a different frequency that is playing at this point in time.
I love that. I have felt that before, where I'm like, am I feeling all this? Like, is this mine, or is this everything that's going on in the world, or stuff going on with my kids or my spouse or family? And trying to sit there and differentiate between what I'm feeling is mine and then everything from all the external forces around me.
Yeah, I'm so grateful you said that, because I will literally ask, is this mine? And then I let the universe give me a percentage. Sometimes it's a complete yes or complete no. And sometimes it's like, yeah, there's 10% of you feeling unsettled today, but 90% of what you're feeling is not yours. So that is beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. It's a good reminder, Heather.
Thanks, Michelle. All right. Our next question is from Anthony. Will my physical and cognitive fatigue improve?
The answer I am getting is yes, and it's going to take action. So I have yes, and then I see the sign equals action. So whatever action it is that you need to take, whether this is diet, there is something strong with your diet, okay? Because your guides just gave me that word. Be really aware of what you're eating and what you're putting into your body. Also, I need to say this to you. Your energy field is right now, because they're showing it to me, very expanded, but almost expanded to the point of depletion. So what I want you to start doing is they're showing me reclaiming your life force energy. So let's talk about this for a minute. Every one of us, myself included, we give away our life force energy or our power every day to people, places, situations, whether it's the car that cuts you off in traffic and you're like, look at that jerk, right? You just gave them a piece of your energy. So start noticing in your life where you have given away your life force energy or your power. And then what we want to do is really just a simple energy or reclaiming, calling it back to us. And you can say, I'm claiming back my life force energy that I have given away consciously or unconsciously to different people, places, and situations. Because for this person individually, your body needs that energy and your mind is looking for that energy to heal. So start by reclaiming your power. And the other thing is, there is something with your diet that is very important here for you to be able to continue to heal.
Thanks, Michelle. It is. It's like those small things sometimes we do forget about. Like, it's like, okay, doing like a little self-assessment, like, am I getting enough sleep? What am I eating? Like, where is my energy going? I find myself constantly needing to do that because things change and ups and downs. And I realize, oh, I'm not taking care of myself the way I was maybe a month or 2 months ago, or whatever the situation might be.
Right. And then the universe will send us reminders like, oh, you just hurt yourself, right?
Yeah.
Time to take it easy.
Yeah. The universe today was like, you've been way too busy. And I threw out my back. And it was like, slow down. You've been doing way too much. And I was so angry because I don't want to slow down. I have so many things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like, I knew I haven't been taking care of myself the way I needed to. And there was just too many other things that came first. And I kind of put my body on the back burner for a bit. And so funny how your body has a way of getting what it needs, even when you don't want to give it to it.
That is true. The other thing I want to say about your back too, not just you, anyone with back issues, think about when we talk about the weight of the world, things are heavy, that type of energy, literally we tend to carry it in our energy field on our back. Think of yourself as, with this giant 50-pound duffel bag. So for you or anyone else with back issues, also see yourself kind of taking off that duffel bag that's not yours to carry, or laying it down, because that does have an effect on our physical bodies.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that for sure. So I'll be doing a little self-assessment and seeing what I need to like take the load off a little bit.
Awesome.
All right, our next question. Let's see, we're going to, Tammy, I am taking care of my mother-in-law. I'm not sure what's wrong with her cognitive. Also, I'm in a marriage. Or I'm not sure if I should stay or go. And can you connect with my son, Joe? So there was 3 questions there. So we'll start with, she's taking care of her mother-in-law, and she feels like there's something going on with her cognitive.
So what I'm getting is, yes, there is absolutely something going on with her cognitively. And I would just say that she needs to be seen and checked out, because that's just, the universe just had me write down yes in big capital letters. So absolutely, there is more that needs to be done in this situation for her. The other thing that I want to say about your marriage, because I get this question so much. So this is really important, not just for you, but for everyone who's listening, with every relationship that we are in. Spirit never tells us stay or go, whether it's a friend, your spouse, your family, whoever it is. Spirit does not say stay or go. Spirit says, can you align with your own energy and frequency vibration while you're still in that relationship? So if you're in a situation that is not serving you, but you can manage to navigate and live in alignment and truly not let that energy bother you, Spirit's like, stay, right? But if you cannot, if you are in a situation where you cannot stay in alignment with your own energy, then you really need to leave. Spirit world does not recognize marriage contracts the way that the human world does, right? Spirit world sees it as soul agreements, a reason, a season, a lifetime. And not all contracts are meant to last your lifetime. So when we see it that way, as far as the soul agreement, there's not a right or wrong answer. So that's why the answer always comes back to, are you in alignment? Can you sustain your alignment in this relationship, no matter who it's with?
Yeah, I love that, Michelle.
Yeah, it's really big. I want to say this real quick, and then we're going to keep going, because that was like 3 questions there, and I want to get to as many people as possible. But with your son, I'm just seeing so many hearts, so much heart-shaped love. So there's an abundance of love pouring on you right now. And I'm being told to tell you that you've put yourself last for too long. Okay. And I feel that across the board. That's the message from your son. So I want you to just think about how you can start to move yourself to the front of the line, the self-care, the whatever it is that you need to do for yourself.
Thanks, Michelle. And that could also apply to like the marriage as well. Putting yourself. And what does that look like for you?
And maybe that's counseling. I mean, Spirit is never like stay or go. Spirit says, how's your energy alignment?
Yes. Thanks, Michelle. All right. This next question is from Casey. I've always wondered if birthmarks have a special meaning or purpose. Do they have anything to do with our soul plan, family, or even a past life? It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I love that question. My answer is yes, yes, yes to all of that. So a lot of times people will come in with birthmarks that are pertinent to a lifetime they need to remember. And not need as in like you won't be complete in this lifetime if you don't, but it's a lifetime that relates to where you are now. So I would say yes, there are multiple reasons for that. Obviously, some too are genetic. I used to have one in the same spot my mom had one, right? So we have an ancestral lineage or a family lineage, as well as past lives that can be connected to them. One of the easy things for you to do is to really just kind of go into a meditation and then put your hand on your birthmark, wherever it is, on your shoulder, whatever, and ask it, what do I need to remember? And let's see what information you receive, because we're all capable of doing this.
Great question. All right, our next question. How do I let go of an addiction?
I love that. This is really huge. So I was actually just having this conversation with one of my good friends, Denise, who we talk about on here, who does a lot of work and in the spiritual world too. Here's the first thing that we actually have to do. And I know this because I actually just got certified. I think I talked about this last week in human interaction technology, which is all about working with your subconscious too, and the stories that we're telling ourselves, right? The moment that we are identifying as an addict, or we're saying, I am addicted to drugs, I am addicted to alcohol, I'm addicted to pornography, whatever it is that you're addicted to, what happens is you are now creating the most powerful statement in the universe, the I am statement, right? That is the most powerful thing you can say, I am. And so when we take this statement and we add to it, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted, whatever it is, not only are we planting that in our energy field, we are also planting it and rooting it in our subconscious and our conscious minds. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you with this is I need you to quit identifying as addicted to anything. I need you to start identifying as a human who had an experience or a situation with this substance or whatever it is, and knowing that healing is possible for you, that moving through the idea of the craving of it is really about what is it that your soul wants. Because one thing I will tell you that I have learned through all of my readings with loved ones on the other side, whether they went there on purpose or accidentally got there from drug overdose or something like that, they were all masking something within themselves. They were numbing, they were covering up abuse, trauma, depression, whatever it is. So the real heart of the issue here, it has nothing to do with I'm addicted, because I actually don't think in your energy you are addicted. I think that's a human label you've owned, which I want you to disown. And I want you to actually say, I'm a person who's looking to find more of myself. I'm a person who's looking for ways to be healthy in dealing with my traumas or anything like that. Because the last thing I want anyone to do is have the I am statement and add addicted to that, because that is a no winning prophecy right there.
I love how you talk about that and reframing that. It's very powerful.
Well, we're literally talking to our soul, our subconscious, and our mind. And I want to say this too. Get all the help you need if you are fighting a challenge like that, okay? But be careful with how you identify, because that's the last thing you want to do is own that.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Gina. What is the cause of polycystic ovarian syndrome? It is very painful, and I often wonder how close the pain is to labor pain.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big question. Never been asked that. So thank you for asking that. I am going to be, because I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not giving medical advice or definition. I'm going to give you the spiritual side of this. So let me tap in with your guides for a minute and see what they are wanting to bring forward. Okay. So the first thing they're showing me is the word lineage. So there's something about this where it's running in your lineage, obviously the female side of your family. So I want to acknowledge that. There's also a couple of things here that you're working through. They're showing me. So one is oh gosh, this is a soul plan. So I don't know that this is going to be true for everyone. This is just for this person that asked this question. But the soul plan information coming through for her is that she's learning to meet pain with love, right? So our biggest lesson in this life is, how do we love? How do we love through our challenges? How do we love through our good times? How do we love, right? And I also want to say this to you. Love heals. Love heals your heart, your body, your mind, your spirit. It is the strongest force in the universe. So the way your guides are showing me this for you is literally showing up. I want you to take your hands. I want you to place them on your ovaries. And I want you to literally see yourself moving this beautiful, white, loving light through your body into this. Because when pain is met with love, it can't exist in the way that it did before. And that's part of what your soul lesson is here.
Thanks, Michelle. Good question. The next question is from Rose. My daughter-in-law is struggling with infertility. Do you see her having success in pregnancy in the next few years?
I got a strong yes on that. So I want to say yes. And I also want to go back to kind of the addiction question on this too. How does she want to identify? This is really important, right? So she can start to identify, and we're talking about energy, right? Mind, subconscious, all of this. When you start to say, I'm a mom, I'm just waiting for my baby to arrive. We are shifting the energy versus I'm somebody who has a hard time getting pregnant, which we're telling our body and our mind. Remember, our body is always eavesdropping on our thoughts. Literally, it eavesdrops. It's listening to every thought you have. It doesn't have to come out of your mouth. It knows your energy, right? So the answer is yes. I see her having children. So I want to say that. I'm getting the number 2. So I think she'll have at least 2 children. But I don't want her to identify as somebody that is having an issue or a problem. I want her to say this is like, oh, I have a situation and help is on its way and we're moving forward, right? Because now we're shifting the energy for her to really stand in what she wants. So I don't think she's she's definitely having kids, and I'm getting the number 2.
Thanks, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our next question is from Elaine. Do my guides have any advice for artistic direction and life path?
Oh, I like that. And the first name's Elaine?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So they're showing me so much creativity around you, but they're showing it to me in a spiritual way. So there's almost like this kind of like this beautiful magical vibe around it is the way that I'm seeing it. Art is your soul speaking. They just told me to say that to you. So when you are allowing yourself to be creative with painting, writing, whatever it is that you're connecting to, that creativity is actually you channeling your soul information. They're telling me that you do have a lot of success ahead with you, but they're showing me the number 3. So I think you're going to do this in 3 ways. If one of the things is you paint, then you might start drawing, and then you might start writing. But what you're really wanting to do, they're giving me the word culmination, is like bring it all together or weave it all together, because that's where you're going to create your magic.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Casey. Can you provide insight into what is causing and how I can better manage my debilitating migraines and the extreme scent and chemical sensitivity I have? It's a new question we haven't had before.
Yeah, it's interesting, all the medical questions today.
Yes.
The thing that's really interesting, and I find this when I get on to do group readings online and or in a group in person, the universe brings us together on themes. And today we're obviously with some of the medical things. So once again, I'm not a doctor. Casey, I will answer that energetically and spiritually for you as an individual as to what is going on with your life plan. And there's a couple of things that they're showing me. So one of the things with you is it's like, I want to take you and I want to put you in a solid, beautiful golden bubble. So think Wizard of Oz, that fairy godmother bubble kind of type energy. That's really where I want to put you, because what they're telling me is that you are a highly sensitive person, but I mean that emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, right? So across the board. So one of the things is literally bringing in this beautiful golden bubble. I would love you to do a meditation to ground yourself. They're telling me to ground yourself. And they're showing it to me this. One of the things about pain is it's grounding. It makes us present. We can only be in this present moment when something is hurting, right? Especially like migraines or anything like that. So another way to ground ourselves is to literally put our feet on the earth, imagine growing roots deep down into it, turn this into a 20-minute meditation or 2-minute meditation, whatever you need to do. But I see you grounding, I see the bubble coming in, and I also am being told to tell you, let go of what's not yours to carry. So to me, the migraines are very energetic. They're not showing me something physically off or triggering them in your body. But think about being in your own energy and being grounded to this earth from a place of love, not a place of pain.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, we're going to do a question from our online submissions. A few months ago, you recommended that I start eating meat and fish for my health. Can you see if I'm making progress on this healing journey?
Yeah, so I want to say yes, because what's interesting, I can't even, I remember the question, but I don't remember the energy around it. But the way that they showed it to me, it's almost like because of this choice that you're making, I feel like we just like put WD-40 on the squeaky door. Like I feel like things are running more smoothly in your body is the energy that they're giving me. So yes, I would say you are already making progress. Make sure you're getting enough. They're telling me to say healthy fats too. So think avocados, omega-3s, whatever that is. That's important for you at this point too.
Thanks, Michelle. Mm-hmm. I love the follow-up question. Lori, does my dad in spirit have a message for me?
Yeah, let's see where we're going. Yes, and it's kind of funny because his energy came in and he said, quit trying to make everything so hard. So thank you, Lori, for that question, because it's not just for you, it's for all of us, right? But we get to learn from your dad today. But what he is showing me is he's just saying this, like, don't take these anthills and make them into mountains or bigger hills than they are, because he's showing me for you, like, there's been a lot of bumps in the road, but energetically, and I want to say this very clearly, it's not that you're a dramatic person. You're doing what all of us do in the human form. We see something and we start feeding it energy, and now we're worried about it. And before you know it, it's a bigger situation than it needs to be. So your dad is telling you with the most love and the most compassion, don't turn ant holes into mountains, because that's not your life story. He's supporting you through this too. He's showing me 2 changes coming up for you the second half of this year. I'm not worried about them. So I want to say, don't worry. You're not going to lose your job or anything crazy like that. But there are going to be 2. Clearly 2, he's showing me that again, significant things for you or opportunities that come in that help to, he says, expand you more into who you're meant to be now.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question. I love this question because I actually have this question as well. Are curses, spells, or hexes real? If so, how do people break them?
Right. So I love that question. And let's dive into that because I know a lot of spiritual people in this world, right? And there are spiritual people who will tell you those are absolutely real. And here is what I'm going to say about that. In my experience, I have never come across a curse on a family line or any on an individual. Okay. And what I will say with that is because we've got to talk about we are souls having a human experience. So if there is that type of energy, and I'm sure I'm going to get emails and people telling me that I'm wrong. So I'm just going to tell you my experience. I have not seen that. What I do believe in is ancestral lineage trauma that we are carrying in our DNA, that we are carrying in our body from somatic experiences and all of that. Does that possibly look like a curse? Okay, so maybe we have somebody who has like breast cancer in the family and grandma had it and died from it, mom had it, and now the daughter has it. Could you look at that and say that's a curse? Maybe, and it was also genetically in there already. So I'm not seeing those happen in that way. The other thing I want everyone to realize is you are all so protected here. You have angels, you have life guides, you have loved ones in spirit, you have a soul plan. You're not here accidentally. So when we realize that we are powerful souls having the human experience, we realize that we have a choice in what we're going to allow to be true in our lives and what we're not.
I love that, Michelle, because that's something that I've thought a lot about, and especially from a religious standpoint of sometimes where it was taught that like if you were doing what was right, then good things would happen to you. And if something bad happened to you, it's because you weren't doing something right. And it kind of can be said the same thing with like a hex or a curse or something that like is carried with you. That's not the case. I was told that, for instance, my house was cursed and something, our basement flooded and it was a horrible thing. And was it horrible, or did it end up being ended up turning into a positive thing because insurance came in and fixed it, and we ended up with a little bit of extra money in the end to like get the rest of the house fixed, right? Because things were damaged. So was that a curse, like I was told, or did that end up being working out for the best? I don't know, but it's interesting topic to talk about.
You know what? It really is, because as humans we'll use this word, right? Oh, I feel cursed. Nothing is going right, right? So I get it from the human perspective, but we've got to realize there's so much more happening than this. We have a soul plan. We have all of these things that are happening, and we have experiences that we came here to learn, and they're not all going to be pretty. I want to add one more thing to what you said because it's really important. This isn't about being a good person or a bad person or being spiritual enough or religious enough or anything like that. This is about playing human. And so at the point where I had near-death experiences or where my life partner passed by suicide, it wasn't because I was a bad person and I was out there doing horrible things and robbing people. It was because I was having a human experience on this planet at this time. So shifting the energy around that is really important for everyone.
Yeah, I feel that because I feel like by signing up to be human, by signing up to come here, we sign up to experience the full wheel of experience, all the emotions, which is pain and love, disappointment, sadness, betrayal, all the things, good and bad. And that's what we signed up for, to feel it all. And to feel it all, we have to have all those experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why we come to planet Earth, for the contrast.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Margie. My son and daughter-in-law, both very capable professionals, have been looking for jobs in San Diego for some time. Do you see them getting new job opportunities in the near future?
I got a yes to that. And I want to say we might still be more at the end of summer or early fall is the energy that I'm getting, but the answer is yes.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Mhm.
Our next question is from Monica. I feel I'm headed, oh, here we go. I feel I'm heading to a huge breakthrough. I do multiple things, and I want to know if I need to focus on one in particular.
Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to say about this, and it's really what your guides are showing me for you. So whenever we find a modality that we love, let's say we want to work with tarot cards, or we want to work with Reiki, or whatever it is that we're doing, you have to realize what we're doing is we're just expanding our natural channel. So what I would tell you is I think you're going to take two, whatever your top two favorites are. You're going to really combine those, but you're always going to have these other beautiful little tools on the outside. So I definitely would agree with you. It feels like you're moving toward a breakthrough. They're giving me the word August. So I think by August, you're going to be in a different playing field. And I'm excited for you with that.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Tracy. Tracy said, I finally got here live. Welcome live. I hope you're still on. If there is any time, I would love to know if you have any insight on my sweet husband, Eddie's health. Thank you deeply for sharing your gift.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so grateful that you were able to join us today. I guess, it works out, right? Okay. So I want to put my hands on my heart when I'm tapping into your husband's energy. So let me just see where I'm going with that, because there's a couple of things. I would agree with you. His energy feels really sweet. So I think that's why my hands are up here on my heart. There are a couple of things. They're showing me 2 to 3 things happening in him right now. So I want to acknowledge that. I do not think that one is that any of these are catastrophic type illnesses. What I'm hearing is it's like the combination. So they're showing me blood sugar. So I need to tell you his blood sugar needs to be checked, because they're making it weavy like a roller coaster. So I don't know if he's peaking and then dropping or something like that, but blood sugar is part of this going on. They're also then taking me to the thyroid. So make sure that the thyroid is checked too. But overall, I feel like he's going to get answers. They're showing me in the next 4 months, but it's going to come from a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here. But the puzzle pieces are coming together for him. And they're actually showing me that by fall, I want to say by September at the latest, he's going to be feeling more healthy, more whole, more healed.
Thanks, Michelle. All right. I know we're kind of gone over a little bit, but we'll do one more question. We have lots in the chat still. So come back next Monday and ask your questions, please. This question is from Chris. Hi, Michelle. The woman I've been dating 3 months needs my financial help. Is she really interested in a relationship with me too? If so, are we a good match? Okay.
So here's what's interesting. I need to say a couple of things about this, right? Because your guides are coming in, and I want to tell you it's actually complicated is what your guides are telling me. So there is a lot you two are supposed to learn from each other right here and right now. And they're telling me to tell you to use they're calling it self-awareness, right? Let's talk about money first of all, okay? Sometimes people need money and you can actually give them a certain amount and they shift the energy and then they bring back in what they want and they're moving forward in life. Other people are constantly wanting money, and money does not fix money problems because they still have the same problems. You're just putting a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage, right? So energetically, what your guides are telling me is to move very slowly with this, because there's a lot still to be revealed here. And they actually take your wallet and they put it in your back pocket. So I'm going to tell you that are we talking groceries? Yes. If she needs groceries, go buy her groceries, right? But there's a difference here. So I want you to be protective of yourself and your energy. And money is just a form of energy. And really ask yourself, what needs to happen here? Does she need groceries? Okay, let me go buy you groceries. But there's something weird here that I don't like for you. There's kind of a weird little energy. So proceed with caution.
Thanks, Michelle. All right. Well, thanks for all of your questions today. We had lots of good questions. And we have lots in our online submissions too that we'll get to next time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this half hour goes so fast. So we'll have to see if we expand it in the future. But thank you all for joining us. It is always just an honor and a pleasure to connect with you and get to answer your questions and be here live. And I thank you, Heather, for showing up every week and helping and supporting humanity with your wise words of wisdom too. So I wish you all a beautiful week ahead, and we will see you next Monday. Have a great week. Take care.
Bye.